Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Cam, man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code MASECAM or STAT to get up to $1,000 in bonus credits with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mase and Cam.
Killa, what's good, man?
Murder, what up, man? How you doing?
Good, man.
Good?
Yeah.
Good, man.
Great time to be alive.
Absolutely. A little purple on, purple haze in it. Who
Purple
knows?
City.
Purple City? You don't catch the indictment for the Purple City. Purple City catch that indictment, man. Shout out to them niggas in Taino Towers, man.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are going to start. Water good, huh?
Yeah, man. It's early, man. It's early morning, man.
Okay. Despite losing to the Lakers, the Rockets have won 9 out of the 11 of their last games, their last loss being the Lakers, of course, and the Nuggets. They are the second seed in the West. Mase, why do you think the Rockets have been so successful?
I definitely think the reason why the Rockets are so successful is that they're playing for each other. This is like old school basketball. Even though they got players that are very talented, when you got players that really like the other players on the team, you could tell this team probably hangs out together. They came up together, and it would be a travesty for them not to stay together. But you could just see everything about a good team is present here. You got good communication. You got people respecting one another. You got they're playing defense with each other. So it's like if you get past one person, it's not a clear bucket. It's like I just said from the beginning, they're just playing for each other. So and Udoka is doing an amazing job with this team. And a couple weeks ago, I wasn't as sold on the Rockets. I might come in with a red Cowboys hat tomorrow. I don't know.
Pause.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Just randomly come in with a red Cowboys hat. Without explanation, it's crazy.
And do I see this continuing for the Rockets? Absolutely. Like I said, a couple weeks ago, I wasn't sold on them. Today, I think I'm starting to change.
You're more sold on the Houston Rockets than Oklahoma City?
That's a great question, Cam. That's 50-50 for me. I'm gonna be honest, because as great as SGA is, I don't know if he does it down the clutch. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to playoff basketball, not regular season. He's an MVP, first team, all of that. But, you know, in a 7-game series, the ball is in my hand. I'm controlling what happened. I'm not blaming nobody for what happens. I think when it comes down to a team that got 8 players playing, that's willing to dive on the floor for the ball, that could end up beating a great player by itself if the other people don't show up.
That's a hot take. So on the Rockets, is there any specific player that you see taking over and doing that, or you just feel like
no, I think it's by committee, and that's what makes it more scary. You know, growing up, you got players that get a lot of rebounds. You got another guy who can hit a pull up from pause anywhere. You got this other guy, he can handle the ball. But when you got all these people playing together and they're playing their best basketball, they all are like interchangeable. That's what makes them so dangerous. Normally you find a team, this guy can only dribble, this guy can only shoot. Houston Rockets got people that could do some of everything, and they want to win, and it don't matter where where they find themselves to win, and I think that's a great thing. And not taking nothing away from SGA. I'm just saying I'm yet to see him do it, and no criticism. I have to see him do it when it counts. He's a first team, season MVP, all of those things. Great player, great outstanding talent, great person, but I have to see it done in the playoffs. I'm looking forward to him doing it in the playoffs.
That's crazy that you think that the roster for Houston is better than the roster for OKC, because you only mention Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You don't mention Czech. You don't mention Caruso. You don't mention Jalen Williams. You don't mention Czech. They play 9 players. And I think that they are the deepest team pools, at least in the West, outside of Boston having a great bench as well. But they're playing 9 players, and all 9 players for OKC are really good. It isn't just the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander show, because I think that Shai gets a lot of credit because of what he's doing. He's really unstoppable mid-range game. We seeing flashes of Kawhi Leonard that we haven't seen. Well, Kawhi look like he's trying to come back and get his name back. I ain't gonna lie. Kawhi, for those who haven't been watching the Clippers, Kawhi is sneaking back in the building.
Yeah, he got the memo.
Sheep in wolf clothing. I'm telling you, whatever that phrase is, he doing wolf and sheep clothing. Whatever that shit is, that's what Kawhi Leonard is actually doing right now. Because niggas like, Kawhi ain't been playing. Kawhi is on the hush, and we already see what James Harden been doing. Yeah. Listen, let's be very careful not paying attention to the Clippers. But as far as OKC is concerned, the question I asked Mase, they're playing 9 players, and they have a deep team. Even with Caruso coming off the bench, they are really, really good. That's why I asked. But I'm not disagreeing with what you said as far as Houston as well. They're playing collectively good. They obviously are fighting with Denver for second place in the Western Conference final. In the Western Conference for seeding when the playoffs happen. But Mase is absolutely right. They have a deep team. Not only that, they have a lot of people on the team with points to prove. It isn't just the coach. You got Dylan Brooks saying, Memphis wanted to get rid of me. Now, look, I bet you Memphis misses Dylan Brooks now. He comes with a lot of antics and everything else, but they're sitting there saying he's one of them dogs. I wouldn't compare him to Draymond Green, but he's Houston's version of Draymond Green. But Houston looks really good. But the reason I asked Mase that question because when he said he didn't trust OKC a few shows ago, and when it came to the playoffs, and at least OKC with this roster has playoff experience, as opposed to Houston having no playoff experience.
That's true.
With this particular roster. Are they looking good this year compared to, because last year they just missed the playoff by 2-3 games, something really close. So they was fighting with Golden State to get in the play-in, not just the playoffs, the play-in. But it looked like they came back this year with a vengeance. And my only problem with Houston, and we'll see what happens, is this team presently constructed doesn't have any playoff experience as compared to OKC, who has playoff experience. So we'll see what happens with them in the playoffs. But who does have playoff experience? Dylan Brooks. Van Vliet is a champion. And not only that, we have a coach that's Eastern Conference Finals a couple times. Not just that, possibly the finals, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he got fired right before.
Right, exactly. So we have people on that team with playoff experience, but not presently constructed. And to me, right now, and the playoffs count, but it's OKC and it's the West. That's what I look at the West. It's OKC and the rest of y'all motherfuckers. And we'll see what happens when the playoffs come, because that's my real question. What is OKC going to do in a 7-game series? Yeah. That's the real question. But I was asking Mase that because what is Houston going to do in the 7-game series? They look like they're ready. Yeah. They look like they're ready, but they have to have the experience. So the game the other day, they look really, really good. But my biggest takeaway from Houston and Phoenix was KD getting hurt. And right now, the Phoenix Suns on the 11th seed, which means they won't make the play-in in the 11th seed. So is this the last time that we're seeing KD in a Phoenix Suns uniform? That's the question that I took away from that game. Because if they don't make the play-in, as much conversation has been going on around around Phoenix, they was talking about trading KD before the deadline. He didn't want to get traded. They're not winning. Bradley Beal Devin Booker. Those three people are not getting the job done. As much as we like them, they're not getting the job done. I actually see Shannon Sharp. He had a great take, and he didn't express it clearly enough, but his take was great. It's like you got the best, he used the term oxtail, but let's say you got the best oxtail, then you got the best red wine, then you got the best pancakes. But I don't want all three of them shits together. I don't want to drink red wine, pancakes, and eat oxtail all together. I thought that was a brilliant way he kind of put it together. And that's kind of true when you're thinking about Bradley Beal, you're thinking about Kevin Durant, you're thinking about Devin Booker. They look disinterested. It looks like they don't want to be there. And I watched this a couple times because I'm like, let me see what the fuck is going on with the Phoenix Suns. And they look really, really disinterested. Like, please let this season be over with. I have no idea what's going to happen. I hope KD recovers quick. They said he should be out for a week or so, but a week or so may be too late to get them in the play-in. And if they are in the play-in, I don't think that they're very interested in trying to get past the play-in, just from what I'm looking at. Now, it'd be a crazy story if they make the play-in, win in the play-in, get in the 7th seed possibly. I ain't going to put them in that 8th seed because you get the 8th seed, I don't think you want to play OKC. But you sit there and play Houston again maybe. We'll see what happens in a 7-game series. I'm not saying they will win, but that would be almost a Cinderella story for Phoenix. Imagine them niggas get the 10th seed, ended up getting in the playoffs, and then after that win a first round. That's a victorious season for what we've seen. Is that far-fetched what I just said? Absolutely. But you never know.
Yeah, and going back to what I was saying previously, Killa,
right.
I was thinking when it comes to OKC, the reason why I was saying the Houston Rockets over OKC is because I don't know if everything breaks down for OKC that they'll still play for each other. You know how you have those teams where look at like the Phoenix Suns. Like everybody got the talent, but when things go awry, are they going to pull together and get it done? Or is it going to be like my show, your show, And I see more so if things unravel that the Houston Rockets will be able to pull it together. Like you said, Van Fleet, he got the map. The person has won before. He knows what we need to do week 1. He knows what needs to happen in the second series. He knows how you need to rest, what you need to do to be ready for the finals, and how you need to turn it on pause when you get to the finals. So having the map is just like being in class and you got the cheat sheet. If you got the cheat sheet, you're definitely gonna pass the class because you got the answers. I don't think OKC knows the answers just yet, and I want y'all to prove me wrong, And I don't want to say y'all don't have the answers, but I don't think that it's not giving me they got the answers. And when you talk about KD, with KD being out, this would be like a horrible postseasons to have 2 postseasons without KD back to back. I think it was last year or the year before we was watching all of the new people in the playoffs, and we're like, where's all of the guys that we used to watching? I don't think 2 times being out of the playoffs is just crazy for him as a player of that kind of caliber to say that you had Bradley Beal on this team, you had Devin Booker, and you got KD. Yeah, no matter who else was on that team, you're supposed to have at least 100 points. At least 100 points. So I don't get that. And when you said Kendrick Perkins, not Kendrick Perkins, who was that said that dinner menu?
Shannon Sharp.
Shannon Sharp. What was that again? Wine?
He was just using examples. He didn't say all that. He said access something else, but he was basically saying the best foods that don't go together.
Oh, yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, that was great because I was listening like I would never eat those things. Pause, man.
Not together.
But I definitely together.
If you eat it separate, that's basically what he was trying to say. If you out to dinner and you want red wine, you have red wine, but don't bring me pancakes with oxtail, basically what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. All of those are probably great things.
Right.
Yeah.
But real quick, also, one thing I want to say is yesterday I said when I was talking, because our fans are fucking, they'll be on our back. I said how the Grizzlies went to the Western Conference Finals when they lost to Golden State, my apologies. It was the semi-Western Conference Finals. The reason I had a brain freeze is because Golden State went on to win, so I was thinking that was going on to them. So thank you to our fans for correcting me. Secondly, Phoenix didn't miss the playoffs last year, like Mase just said. They went and got swept by Minnesota, so this would be their first year looking at. And as far as Van Fleet having the cheat sheet was Kawhi Leonard, because he was up there with motherfucking DeMar DeRozan and all them niggas and could not get there. Kawhi Leonard came one year, got Canada a championship, and said thank you, Kawhi, and thank you, Canada, but I got to go back to America. So as much as I like Fred VanVleet, and don't get it fucked up neither, you got to be there, like Mase just said.
Yeah.
You know the schedule.
You got to see it.
Yeah, you got to see it. You got to know. But what I will say is this, that I don't think that if OKC doesn't get it done, what I'm looking at OKC is like the Boston Celtics 3-4 years ago. They're the second youngest team in the NBA. Out of all their players, they averaged 23 years old, 22 and a half, 23 years old. So even if they don't get it done this year, which I think they should at least go to minimum Western Conference Finals, my personal opinion.
Yeah.
They have plenty of time. I'm not going to throw them under the bus. I'm not going to break the team up. I'm not going to say this person should go. Because listen, we all said that about that as far as not just this show. I'm talking about analysts. Let's think about 3-4 years ago when everybody was saying, yo, it can't be Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown on the same team. One of them got to go. They can't do it. Mind you, these players were 23 at the time, 22, 23, 24 years old. Then you give them some time to develop. You know, we all want success overnight. And when it doesn't happen overnight, we're quick to criticize, knowing these niggas may not even be fully developed grown men, let alone be in their prime. So when now how they're looking like, oh shit, it could be Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Not only that, they went and grabbed Drew Holiday. Not only that, they picked up Porzingis. Not only that, Derek White came into his own. Listen, sometimes things take time. So as good as OKC looks, they're still young, but that's not. But at the same time, I'm not giving you no pass, nigga. I'm not giving you no pass. Make it happen. You had playoff experience the last 2 years. You got the #1 point guard, first team All-NBA 2 years. Get it done. Get it done. That's just that.
Yeah, and when I was speaking of Van Fleet, I was thinking he got to take a page out of Shaq's book. When Shaq went to Miami and he was talking to D Wade and telling him about what he did with Kobe, like telling him like, yo, you got to do this for us to win, like putting a battery in his back. That's what I was more so speaking of. Like Van Fleet, you got to amp one of them young niggas up, pause, that's on the wing, and tell him, you gonna have, if we gonna win, you gonna have to become a new nigga. Like you got to put the battery in his
Jalen
back.
Green.
Yeah, you Kawhi now, nigga. Who cares what Kawhi did? You Kawhi now. And you know, people start hearing that from people they looked up to or people they saw win it. It started giving them unreserved confidence. That's what I saw happen with Wade. Once Shaq pulled him to the side and told him, you Kobe now. I remember they played at the Staples Center and he blocked Kobe's shot. It was like Kobe looked at him like, this little nigga think he me? And he was like, yeah, Shaq was letting him know, I'm grooming him to take your spot. And even though I don't think he did it, but I'm just saying, shout out to Wade, shout out the whole Bryant family and Shaq, but he knew what to tell him to get him to play on that level, and that's what it's going to take for the Houston Rockets to win it all. That would be crazy if the Rockets played the Celtics. Udoka would rather nothing better than to beat the Celtics in a chip.
Yeah.
But it's also a great storyline because I think we'd all be tuned in for sure. So, like, I would love to see that. But you never know. Like, new hotness comes in, things start happening. They had a lot of doubts, but then we're seeing that they are capable. So if they can definitely get it done.
And Udoka said a year ago or so, he said he didn't want. This is why he didn't entertain James Harden coming over there. Let's see if this summer he might entertain KD coming over there.
Okay, so I actually want to have a further discussion about the Suns and specifically KD. So as Cam mentioned earlier, KD is expected to miss at least 1 week, and we're having this conversation right now is if the Suns can even make the play-in. Are you surprised that we're even having this conversation at this point in the season, or were there some signs, Mase, that you feel like you might have seen that showed that it was going in this direction?
I think we knew from the first. I believe Me and Killa, I know we knew from probably like the first or second week, maybe. First or second month. I think Killa gave them a little bit more time because like he just stated, success takes time. But I don't have that kind of time. If you're gonna be a person that requires a lot, you don't get to have all that time. People need to know that. If you're gonna be a person that demand a lot, you can't ask for a lot of time. That doesn't go with the demand because that hurts the business. So if you see him out there playing this way, then you got Bradley Beal playing that way, and you're spending all this money. As a GM, I would be furious. I don't know who's at the helm of everything, but I am surprised that they allowed it to be this way. I think their basketball pride should make them rise up and want it to do more. But that's what I mean about when you don't have it for each other. When things unravel, you don't pull it together. When you have that something for a person, you find a way to make that happen. And that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, listen, man. Am I surprised? Kinda. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of surprised. You got to think about this. You got 2 Olympians on the team, 2 gold medalists, current gold medalists. Like this last summer gold medalists when we talking about Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. Not only gold medalists, KD showed the fuck out in the Olympics.
Yeah.
So, when people sit there like Skip Bayless to me like, KD just isn't him. KD isn't that. KD isn't that. To me, KD is busting ass. What they're talking about is that actually they hope KD doesn't miss enough games this season to where he's not eligible to make All-NBA. Because if he's eligible to make All-NBA, he's going to make first, second, and third team for how good he's been playing this season. KD's been playing exceptional. It's that the Houston Suns collectively have not been playing good at all. And like I said,
Phoenix Suns.
I'm sorry, pardon me, Mase. Thank you very much. The Phoenix Suns, they're not playing good at all. And when I watch them, it's like Mase just said, there's no camaraderie. You don't hang. You could tell they don't hang out. You could tell niggas see each other, go home, and that's the end of it. And I'll see you next game or practice or on the flight to the next game. Whatever it is, you could tell they don't hang out because there's no communication. Secondly, I don't think they're cool enough to have an absolute pardon me, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, whatever word I'm looking for, they don't have a leader. And I don't mean none of them have leadership skills. I just think that they probably all respect each other too much to where they don't feel they could talk to a nigga a certain way. Like for instance, when me and Mase played, or anybody I played with, 9 out of 10 times, I hung out with 2, 3 niggas on the team. Maybe I hang out with all 8, 9 niggas, 10, 11. But I could be like, yo, you ain't doing this, nigga. Come on, you playing weak, B. You like this? You gotta be able to talk to niggas like that. If that's your man or that's your teammate. Hey, yo, come on, my nigga. Y'all think, yo, fuck is we doing? Yo, my nigga, you like
you letting them go crazy.
Exactly, my nigga. You playing weak. I remember I was playing a game against Martin Luther King High School in school. And Mase is a grade ahead of me. He didn't play, he was already out, but he was at a game. And I went to a timeout. He's like, yo, you playing mad weak. And I'm like, word, I am, right? He's like, yo, you playing weak. And I started bullying niggas. I was strong. I started pushing niggas all the time, flying all in the sky doing. I was like, word, I'm playing mad weak. And I went crazy because the nigga told me. I remember a nigga actually telling me that. I'm like, word? I bet I'm bugging. Bust Joaquin and them niggas, all them niggas started washing them niggas up. Noah, Elvis, all them niggas. I put them niggas under the bus after that.
Yeah, what happened to Elvis? Shout out to Elvis.
Yeah, shout out to Elvis, Joaquin, all them niggas, man. Shout out to them niggas. But sometimes you need to hear that.
Yeah.
And if you don't got a nigga to tell you that, then you just gonna play lackluster, or you gonna think that you doing enough to saying I'm doing enough. But if you ain't got one of them niggas to be in your ear like, that ain't it, bro. You looking crazy. And then you might put in your mind, oh, word, I am, and turn it up a level or two. And I don't think they have that communication on that team.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now Paul George, so he calls podcasting therapeutic. He said, when I started my podcast, I knew there was going to be some backlash. I knew there was going to be people that had things to say about it. He's an athlete. He should be in the gym 24 hours out of the day. But to be honest, it's therapeutic. It's a chance for me to talk about things that go on in sports that I probably would hold on to. So just hearing that, especially given the Sixers record, he's not playing. What do you think of his reasoning, Mase?
Shout out to Paul George. I wish you well, man. I hope you get better. Man, I was supposed to be all positive today, you know. But this is messing me up right now. What did he say again?
Yeah, basically he said that it's therapeutic. He gets to talk about things that he usually wouldn't get to talk about.
Excuses.
Shout out to the GOAT, man. Killa with you.
Excuses, man. That's terrible.
Shout out to the GOAT. Yeah.
You know what's crazy is that we sit up here and joke about this shit.
Yeah, I think the GOAT comment jinxed him. I think the young niggas calling him the GOAT jinxed him.
I don't even think it's about his skill set. I think it's about his mindset. Because I talked about this on yesterday's show. When he said he was going to stop podcasting and focus on basketball, this first game after he said that, he had some crazy numbers. I don't know if it's triple-double, but he had some really good numbers. I'm like, okay, here we go. But see, I heard this earlier, and I'm going to bring this up really quick and in reference to, like I said, I've been catching up on a lot of different things. And Brock Purdy made a statement, and I know we're jumping to football real quick. Brock Purdy made a statement. We don't have that on our topics today, do we? All right, no. Cool. I just didn't want to jump the gun. Brock Purdy made a statement on a podcast, on these fucking podcasts, these players in these fucking podcasts. But he made a statement on a podcast saying that, you know, talking about how last season the San Francisco 49ers didn't play good, and it's crazy. And basically, when you're sitting there and you playing into February or end of January with the playoffs, you basically have 5-6 weeks off before you have to repeat the spring camp or whatever camp it is, and then you get off for another week, and then you got to do summer shit, this, that, and the third. And then after that, get ready for the regular season. He's like, yo, man, it gets tiring, bro. You know, we're tired, man. As players, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, and you want niggas to give you $50 million a year. That's this what you say in the middle of contract negotiation, you dumb motherfucker? You ain't supposed to say that. Because if you tired, you don't think Patrick Mahomes is exhausted, nigga? Patrick Mahomes play longer than you, nigga, every year. Every year. Do you hear that coming out of Kelsey mouth? Or Patrick Mahomes' mouth? Or Tyreek Hill mouth? Pause. Out of all these players who play way longer than you play every year, Brock Purdy, not just 1 year, year after year after year after year, they play longer than you. And you know what? They probably show up to training camp before you show up to training camp because they want to play longer than you again next season. Why would you say this and you in the middle of a contract negotiation? We just seen a nigga get benched in the middle of the Steven Richardson for saying he was tired. They threw Flacco in because the nigga said he was tired. What the fuck do y'all niggas be saying? Do y'all niggas know how to shut the fuck up? Do you know how to shut the fuck up? Back to Paul George. The reason I brought this up, why would you make this statement after you got paid all this money from the NBA, from the Philadelphia 76ers? You didn't do good this year. You played when you wanted to play. Y'all didn't make the playoffs, which means y'all didn't make the playoffs in 2015-16 season. And then you sit there and talk about, yo, not say, you know what, I'm going to get ready this summer, get my body together, get in shape, so next year I can make the Philadelphia fans proud and get the Sixers back to where they want to be. No. Podcasting is therapeutic. That's what you go to after the season just happened. The reason he's doing this, everybody, because he's lining y'all up to let you know Podcast P is coming back. This the advertisement. He's letting you know this now. It's therapeutic. I get to talk about things I can't talk about anywhere else with nobody else. He not telling Philadelphia we gonna be all right. I'm telling you it's therapeutic, and be on the lookout because we coming back April 15th with the Podcast P Show. This was nothing but a commercial to let you know Podcast Me is coming back. Whether the Philadelphia 76ers are in the playoffs or not in the playoffs, fuck my money I'm getting next year, because next year I'm making $53 million regardless with the 76ers. After that, I'm probably gonna make $57 million. I'm locked in. So I'm telling you, it was therapeutic to me because I already gaffled these niggas for 200. Y'all niggas wild, bro. Y'all athletes, it's okay to shut up. It's okay to be quiet, because what's gonna happen, and you can ask a plethora of players, but most recently, ask motherfucking Ben Simmons how Philadelphia, they'll turn their back on you. Forget Ben Simmons, ask Joel Embiid you ain't gonna ask because you probably was there, how they booed him this season for not performing up to par. They will boo you, they will run you out of town, you'll want to run and hide. The Philadelphia fans do not play. Pick and choose what you say out loud, bro. All you niggas, man.
So this is what you meant when you said why he couldn't be GOAT. It's not first.
Well, it's a couple things, Murder. I never thought he was the GOAT anyway because you didn't win. Yeah. It was a time when he was in Indiana with the Pacers. He was this close behind LeBron.
When LeBron hit that shot out the backboard.
Right. I'm talking about a couple years. It was a couple years where it's like, this Paul George nigga might catch LeBron. He never did it, but he was right there. And it just never panned out. And then, so that's, to me, you never been to a championship. And sometimes we sit there and analyze old players and be like, how he was good, he never made it to the championship. Well, we could sit there and look at a couple people. Let's just throw a couple names out there, right? Who never won a championship. Karl Malone never won a championship. Been to a championship and has a league MVP.
Yep.
Let's talk about Charles Barkley. Never won a championship. Been to a championship. Has a league MVP. Let's talk about Reggie Miller. Never won a championship. Been to a championship. Let's talk about Patrick Ewing. Never won a championship. Been to a championship. So these are great players, but at least they got there.
Yeah.
He's never been there. So that's that. Then the second thing is this. It's Murder's slogan. Let's keep the first thing first. And obviously, I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Basketball is not the first thing no more for him. It's not the first thing. And that's just that. We're going to have to live with that as basketball analysts, fans, or anything else. Basketball for Paul George, and it's fine. It's fine. I'm glad, you know what? I'd rather you tell us so we know. Basketball is not the first priority for Paul George. And I'm not talking about family, because they're going to be like, yeah, basketball ain't the first thing. I got a family, I got a wife.
We're not talking about that.
We're talking about career-wise.
Yeah.
Career-wise, this is not the first thing for you. Career-wise, podcasting is the first thing for you.
Yeah, like you're in high school or you're in school, you get good grades, then you can go play sports, Do your homework first, And this is what it's like with basketball. You do the basketball right, the podcast will be even more jumping because now you're a champion on a podcast. So you even, bless your podcast by performing greater as an athlete.
Yeah. And it's kind of hard to have, maybe it's just me. I have a little bit of sympathy because I'm just like, dang, if it's like a mental health thing and that is therapeutic to you, like maybe, fine. It's okay. Like, again, it's okay to go to therapy. It's okay to talk to somebody if you just want to talk about some things. But on the other end, it's like you initially said you stopped your podcast because you wanted to focus on winning a championship. So by saying that, you're saying that it was a distraction.
Yeah.
So it's like, which one is it? Is it a distraction or is it really therapeutic for you?
Yeah, and if he needs therapy, I definitely suggest that he get one. Get some therapy, pause, for real. But the podcast, that probably shouldn't be the great outlet of therapy, because that means you're before people broken and constantly speaking or tired and constantly speaking, and that's never a good thing because there's no limit to the things you could say.
Yeah, and also real quick, there's so many tools, pause, out here to as far as technology is concerned, as far as social media is concerned, as far as internet is concerned, to get your message out there, so on and so forth. Basketball was my therapy when I was growing up. If you're a basketball player, that's supposed to be therapy, nigga. Get out there and play. That take your mind away from all the other shit going on. That was the therapy. I didn't have the tools we have today. But basketball players' therapy is basketball. I see mad players be like, yeah, this is my therapy. Now it ain't the therapy no more because you can go talk to niggas. I ain't jacking that shit, Mason and Stat just said they giving you an out.
I just gotta look at both sides.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about things.
I gotta look at. Okay, so my last question, because that's a great point, and honestly, that is like the argument. It's like, why are you looking at any other outlet if you are a basketball player? But just food for thought, and I'm curious on what you guys think. If you feel like you are not where you once were, you feel like you typically play at a high level, you are not there anymore. I feel like, isn't that kind of a depressing thing? Like, it's a reminder, like, damn, I can't even play how I usually do. It could be one of those things that's like, damn, I am not.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bezo, you was saying something?
Nah, yeah. You see what he said? He get to talk about things he don't get to talk about. That show you basketball is not the top priority. That comment right there show you basketball is not his number one priority. It's an excuse.
The answer to that question is, stop stealing money then, nigga. Keep robbing niggas till this ain't, and you ain't good like that no more. You're stealing money, nigga. Give it back. Just robbed Philadelphia 76ers for hundreds of $1 million, and you told me I ain't like that no more. Just robbing niggas.
You said that?
No, I'm saying that. I'm just saying in general, what if it's just like, damn, like I can't play how I usually do. Like that shit sucks.
Get the bread back.
Yeah.
Get the bread back. That would be the...
Yeah, exactly. Come to the Tuesday League, nigga. We ain't got $1 for you. Hey, do some of that shit to the referees. Fuck is you talking about? I ain't like that no more, man. Get in the gym and get back like that. What you talking about, man? If that's the case.
And I'm just putting out hypotheticals because you just don't know. I'm just like, well, what if it's this? What if it's that?
If you feel like he's not like that no more, go get in a pickup game with people that you could dominate, and get your confidence back high and come back out there playing. Because you're getting a lot of money. And when you're getting that kind of money, that's what I was speaking to earlier. It's hard to hear excuses from somebody that you're giving $150 million or
200 something.
Yeah, $200 million, and somebody telling you, I'm just not there anymore. Well, how can we get some of the bread back would be my conversation.
Yeah.
You take all the time you need. But remember I said, if we're talking about a large amount of money, you don't get the time that you normally get because there's too much money being invested. This is a business, and a large portion of this cap salary has been devoted for you and set aside for you. So it's very ethical to make sure that you're on that floor at your best, because this is somebody's taking care of their family, and a lot of people lose their jobs behind things like this. You better believe somebody who thought about Bradley Beal being in Phoenix and this debacle, it's going to cost somebody. We don't know exactly who, but somebody's going to pay for this. And if Paul George doesn't perform, I got, major love and respect for Paul George. But if he doesn't turn this around, somebody in Philadelphia might be in trouble, because this is something they did to win. You don't spend $200 million of mine and we don't win. Right? I wouldn't even say the person's name, but you give somebody money and they don't perform, I would be like, yo, Killa, what's good? What's up with homeboy? But,
Caught in the
love
Mase.
is love.
Caught in the Mase a couple shows ago. When you get a large sum of money, you're obligated to give it back, especially if you're not performing, man.
Yeah.
Give the money back if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, man. Mase said people with money are obligated. Give it to somebody.
Yeah.
Good points. Can't argue there.
I stand on that. Since therapeutic, you want to help people.
Yeah.
You're going through something. I didn't do well this year. Hey, if there's somebody watching this, need tuition, start
Exactly.
helping people.
That's a positive way to look at it for sure. But those are just hypotheticals. Paul George did not specifically say what I said. I'm just saying, and I put it out there. So in the comments, let us know what you guys think about him calling podcasting therapeutic. So today, the Sixers will play the Knicks. Obviously, they don't have Paul George or a lot of players. Cat is at 23.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Higher. I think we talked about this already. If no Joel Embiid is there, I don't think they have anybody worth not going to the rack and getting a basket. So definitely I got him higher than that.
Okay.
Absolutely high.
Okay. OG is at 31.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Do you have him higher or lower?
I'm going to go high. OG, I think he had 25 points or more the last 4 games straight. He's on a little hot streak. If you throw in the points and assists, what is it, points, rebounds, and assists?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go high.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going higher. It seemed like he got the coolest name in basketball right now, OG.
Okay. And Quentin Grimes is at 4.5 assists. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
That's a hard one. Pause. Yeah, higher.
I'm going to go lower.
Okay. Make sure y'all download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. Does the NBA have a tanking problem? We will discuss after the break.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. Wanna be free.
Welcome back. So, of course, a lot of teams want the potential #1 draft pick in Cooper Flagg. At this point in the season, we've seen a lot of teams underperforming. Starters are being benched. A lot of injuries. A lot of things are just going on that isn't as entertaining to watch. And some people may feel like there's a race to the bottom. So, Mase, do you feel like the NBA has a tanking problem?
No, I think the NBA doesn't have a tanking problem. I think they have a what's the word I'm looking for when you're just a content problem. They have a lot of people that just have made a bunch of money and they're just not motivated. The NBA seem very unmotivated. You got teams like, Detroit looking like they're trying to bring back that fire back to the NBA, whether you're talking about OKC, you're talking about the Rockets. You got about like 9 teams that are still playing basketball, but for the most part, it seems like the rest of those teams, you got a lot of people that just have made a lot of money and they're just content. They're not trying to be anything better than what they've already accomplished or do anything, and you could just see it. And it's a sad state for the NBA.
I don't know tanking is the problem, but yeah, I like what Mase said, content, disinterested after a certain point of the season, like I was talking about the Suns. Look, I think that this, and I didn't like it at first, I'm going to be totally honest with you. I didn't like the play-in situation. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? Because it's only 13, 14, however many teams in a conference. That means only 3 teams guaranteed would definitely not make the opportunity to make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I'm sitting there saying, I don't like this. I think this is stupid, or whatever the case may be. But when I looked at it, I'm saying, look, this almost gives a better opportunity, actually, pardon me, 5 teams don't make the playoffs. I got to be on point with these motherfuckers. These niggas go crazy over here, man. So, pardon me, it's actually 5 teams that don't have a chance to make the play. But it's actually genius if you think about it, right? Because you have a team, you got 8 teams to make the playoffs. And if you're anywhere from 9 to 10, and of course 7 and 8, you have a chance. So let's say, for instance, right, let's just look at the record right here. We're looking at the Sacramento Kings right now that's currently in the 10th seed, with their fighting with Phoenix. They're not even 500. They're 36 and 39. Now, imagine they make the playoffs. I'm just giving scenarios here. They make the play-in, under 500, end up making the playoffs and winning the first round, that means you had a chance not even to be 500 in the regular season and still make the playoffs. If you still want to tank after that, goddamn, you didn't even have to play hard the regular season to get in the playoffs. It's still an opportunity to be not even 500 and get to the playoffs and do some damage in the playoffs. So I thought this was genius. If niggas still tanking after that, well, goddamn, man. Listen, as much as I want Cooper Flag on my team, if I'm a team as well. Because listen, let's think about this, man. We had this conversation a season or 2 ago or 3 ago, however long it goes. We still, to this day, have no white American that did the damn thing like Larry Bird. And Cooper Flag looks really, 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 really good. Not only is he white American, that nigga he not middle America, but he up there in Maine. Whiteness. You know what I'm saying? Black niggas go to Maine to sell drugs to white people. I don't know if they still do that, pardon me, if anybody's up there. But that's what niggas used to go to Maine for, because Maine is cold as shit. Ain't no reason to be up there, Maine and Vermont and all that other shit up that way. We get another white American basketball player that's nice. We've been waiting on that. So I can imagine teams drooling pause for Cooper Flag. Not only he's doing well at Duke, we seen what he did with the Olympic team in practice. So that's where a lot of people started paying attention to him. The kid is really good and he has an upside. So I get it. But, it's one of them situations where you be like, we can see you, right, nigga? And I'm talking about teams tanking. But you sitting everybody, niggas not even, we looking at you, right? And that's why the NBA has teams under investigation as we speak for shit like this. Not only that, the NBA is not the NFL. The NFL, the worst team gets the first pick. The second worst team gets the second pick. The third worst team gets the third pick. It's not like that in basketball. You're getting the lottery balls, pause. And if you're the worst team, you get more lottery balls than the second worst team. Let's just use an example. If you're the worst team in the NBA, you get 8 lottery balls. If you're the second worst team, you get 7. If you're the third worst team, you get 6. Whatever the shit is, because you're the worst team don't mean you guaranteed to get the first pick. So sometimes if they really are tanking, it's not going to lead to you getting the first pick. Everybody in New York was losing their damn mind, thought they got jerked when the Knicks didn't get Zion. Oh, it's fixed. They don't want us to win. We never get a first pick. Sin City. It ain't been St. Patrick and we got a first pick. It's all set up. And I'm like, it's just the system. It is what it is. But those teams tanking, what can you do? What can you do? I think they did a great job including a plan to try and prevent from tanking. After that, what's the next plan?
Yeah, if he could, I think I definitely like that take, but I disagree with the part about it's not better for the NBA, but I think if you just keep it to 8 teams, it makes more people have to play because you can come in at the end, pause, and just play in the plan. A lot of people use that as a safety net to coast, and that's what we're seeing. Where it's like a big indifference that's going on. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Everybody's just indifferent. Like, we could win, we don't have to win because I know we're close enough to be in the play-in. And it's like, no, you should want to be 500. You should want to be a 600 team. You should want to have home court advantage. But I think the way that things are structured takes away a lot of the attitude and appetite, pause, for people to be great. That's what I really believe. But I definitely like that take. And I was thinking about if Cooper Flag, if he goes to like Dallas, what does that look like? He goes, but he might end up going to Utah or some place like that. And really, I think he's going to be either as good as Larry Bird or Christian Laettner. I don't think there's no middle room.
Okay, we'll, of course, see what happens eventually. Utah is kind of looking like that could be the choice for him. We will see. I kind of feel like it would be fun to see him go somewhere else, but to each their own.
Shit is, that's what I'm trying to say when it comes to the lottery with them. Them lottery balls go wherever you want. It is no guarantee what team is going to get them because if you have the most lottery balls, pause, or the least, you got one lottery ball and then be the first pick. It's just the way it is.
Right.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't go to the Washington Wizards, I'm cool.
But you can't stop
could,
that.
yeah.
Well,
Because the odds is like 14%. It's like the same for like.
No, I know that. I'm just saying that's probably where it's one of those type of teams. Charlotte.
but what I'm saying is, when she's reading the percentage, them shits don't matter. It's just the highest percentage. It doesn't mean that they're gonna get the pick. Every year is some team that's supposed to get if they have the highest percentage, and they never get the number one pick. It's the nigga with the third highest percentage.
Right. It's real weird.
I just know if he goes to San Antonio, it's rigged.
That's some shit Sim would say.
It's rigged.
I would like that. I think that's exactly what San Antonio need. Then they can start
nigga
talking.
go to San
I need to go to San Antonio.
It'd be crazy.
Not being funny or nothing. Knock on wood. Popovich getting up.
Popovich
Pop
coming back outside, yes.
Pop coming back outside. He go to CNN.
Okay, so now we're going to discuss Deion Sanders. So he earned a 5-year, $54 million contract extension that runs through the 2029 season. With Colorado, this will make him the highest paid football coach in the Big 12 and among the top 10 highest paid college football coaches in the country. His contract is actually around the same as Bill Belichick's. Mase, what do you think of this new deal for Deion?
I'm really proud of Deion, and I hate when people use proud like they had something to do with it. I really didn't have anything to do with it. But I'm really proud to see how Deion has excelled like time after time, like at everything that he's done, every step of the way, every from college to college. You know, I know I had some words that was just concerns, but I'm really excited to see what he was able to accomplish, as well as this extension just proves that he belongs on this level, and he actually belongs in the NFL. So they got a steal in getting Deion, being able to pay him that amount of money. Sometimes people think it's a whole lot to everybody else, but for a man that bring that kind of pizzazz, you know, I haven't heard that word in a long time, but a guy that brings so many things from mentorship to leadership to motivation to coaching to fatherhood, and it's just so great to see him be rewarded in front of everybody, and not just rewarded in one institution, but rewarded on a national scale. Because even though he did it at a black college, that's great. And I don't take nothing away from that, but he deserved to be honored on a main scale.
Yeah, I want to read this from Coach Prime. First of all, real quick, Coach Prime says, this is on his Instagram page, he's going to make $20 per minute, $1,232 per hour, $29,589 per day, $207,000 per week, $900,000 per month. And his caption says, I prayed about something and a blessing came, and God is using me to bless my kids. I'm paraphrasing because it's a lot, and bless the people around me. Yo, you got to love Coach Prime. Coach Prime is one of the this nigga's a marketing genius, bro. He ain't have to post that. And I like that he posted that because he wants to let you know, listen, first of all, when Colorado signed him a couple years ago, I remember they signed him for $5 million. And they interviewed the athletic director. They said, do you have $5 million to pay Deion? They said, no. But we going to get it. We going to find it. We going to dig under some trees, bushes, whatever we got to do, we going to find it. But it just goes to the work ethic. See, a lot of people see that like, yo, you don't understand the work ethic that goes into going from a $5 million 2-year deal to a $54 million 5-year deal. You're not, and a lot of times, not just that, anything that we do as far as analysts or fans or anything else, you see a product on the floor, but you don't see what it takes to get to the level of the product that you're seeing, especially coaches. Because when you're a coach, on any level, you have to get there before the players, you have to stay after the players, you have to come up with schemes, you have to look at tape. It's really a tireless job, bro. And I'm glad that he's getting rewarded because, like Mase just mentioned, we have to think about the longevity of Deion Sanders from high school sensation to a college sensation to a baseball sensation to a football sensation. This is a guy who played in a football game and a baseball game the same day in the World Series. Like, bro, this nigga's phenomenal. Not only that, he gets to coaching high school in Texas. They're not giving him the money or whatever he needs to get it done. Goes to Jackson State. Shout out to the HBCUs, but he gave more light to the HBCUs. Does his thing over there. Then comes in 2 years' time and turn Colorado program around. They won one game a year before he got there. The first year he gets there, he wins 4 games. The next year he gets there, he makes it to a bowl game. Not only that, he builds up all the financial situations around the school. So Buffalo Wild Wings, they motherfucking bottom line went up 300%, or Five Guys, or Burger King, or Twin Peaks Restaurant. Everything around shit grew. Student enrollment up 80% or some wild shit. He brings something to the table outside of just him, and he has that aura. Everybody doesn't have it. He has an aura. You get there and diss him for wearing sunglasses. Next week, he make $2 million on sunglasses. You sit there and say, okay, he's wearing a hat during interviews. He make another $1 million on hats. He knows how to turn your hate into dollars. Not only that, what happens last year? He brings out the Nikes, the Deons that we already had, and it's the #1 selling shoe for Nike last year. This nigga recycle game is crazy. Shout out to Coach Prime, man. I love you. I'm proud to call you a friend, a big bro, and I'm happy for everything that you got going on right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy, Killa.
Pause.
Yeah. But
What part you talking about? I forget what I said.
his recycle game is crazy.
That's reaching. I'll take that to court. This recycle game, we go to court about that. We go to court.
We need the gavel.
We can go to court. I'm taking that to trial. His recycle game is reaching. That's why I reach. I'm going to court. If you want to go to trial, cool. I'm fighting the ticket.
Well, I got the indictment.
Yeah, we could put that on the
yeah, right now, and the indictment is up.
Game status, that reaching.
His recycle.
I'll let the people decide.
Yeah.
It's on the pause court.
I'm just saying. No,
I don't think it. I think
no. It is a court. I can call a judge. Thank you. That's what
I think it's a reach.
It's a reach.
But they might say something different.
I was just asking your opinion.
He asked you so you could have a witness
We
before
forgot
the
how
court
Nick
case.
Saban was hating on him.
Yeah, true.
We
And then
forgot how Nick Saban, he changed the whole thing. Nick Saban was hating on him.
yeah, now Nick Saban doing commercials and they Aflac bros. You know what I'm saying?
So he definitely deserves. Everything is earned, nothing given. So he definitely earned that. So he deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also just want to give him more of his flowers. When I look at this list of the coaches entering the new season, they got Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, Bill Belichick, Brian Kelly. Deion Sanders is the only black man on that list. He's continuing to set the standard and only make it higher and higher, which is great to see. He deserves his flowers, and Dawn Staley deserves her flowers. She became the highest paid women's college basketball coach. They both, I just think, have so much respect from everybody and anybody. And I think even if you didn't have roots, with what school they're coaching at, by default, we all are just supporting and loving everything that they're doing because they showed us the standard, and they did that. And they did it in a short amount of time, too. So congrats to both of them.
Real quick, man, because a bunch of our fans was wondering about why we aren't covering college basketball. We wait till the Final Four. We're not going to sit and act like we know a bunch about college basketball when everybody leaves every year. But we are locked in for the Final Four, men and women. So we'll give you an update on that when that happens in the next few days. But the reason I brought that up because I want to give a shout out to Dawn Staley because this is her 5th straight Final Four. And I know we talk about Gino and a few other coaches and everybody else, but 5 straight Final Fours is nothing to sneeze at, and you don't have one dominant player. That game she just played, her last game, she set her best play out the whole second half. I thought she was bugging the fuck out. I said, how you gonna set the whole second half? And she killed it. That just goes to show when you're an exceptional coach, you know who to put in the game and who to take out. Pause.
Yes, so shout out to South Carolina for sure. Stay tuned for when we talk about the Final Fours. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
what you want, nigga. Everything, nigga, super size. 2 Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.